Hey there, and welcome back to episode 11 of Email Marketing Mastery. So last week we talked about monitoring delivery rate versus deliverability or inbox rate. And during that episode, I mentioned seed lists. So this week, we're going to talk about seed lists, what they are, how they work, how you use them, how you put them into your toolbox to monitor the overall performance of your email marketing program. So let's get right into it. All right, so Email Marketing Mastery, episode 11, seed lists. So as we discussed in our previous episode, inbox rate monitoring is much more important than delivery rate monitoring. Excuse me. In this episode, I want to talk to you about seed lists and why they are not the greatest tool to use to monitor inbox rate. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Right, so what exactly is a seed list? So a seed list is a list of email addresses which is either owned by you or is owned by a monitoring service. They are added to your regular list and mailed to along with the rest of your list. Either you go check the placement of your messages in each of your own seed accounts, or in the case of a monitoring service, they will check the placement and they will provide you with a report. It is common to have more than one address at the major mailbox providers like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, AOL, etc. All of the major ones out there. Several of the mailbox providers will have regional providers as well, like Yahoo.de, and Yahoo has got quite a few of them. So if you do build your own seed list, it is a good idea to get accounts at all of the various regional mailbox providers as well, just to make sure that you're covering all of your bases and all of your regions. So important things to bear in mind with your own seed list. Never, and I mean never ever interact with any of the messages. Don't open them, don't delete them, don't mark them as not spam, mark them as spam, or anything else that will teach the mailbox providers filters what your personal preferences are. Remember that each mailbox provider has their own very intelligent and learning algorithms, which will learn from your interactions with messages and, based on its learning, where to place the messages for your seed account. These algorithms learn and act on a user level as well as on a global level. Your interactions with email will have the algorithms placing the messages for you differently than it does for the next user. So what are the problems with seed lists? As I mentioned above, the mailbox providers will learn what you like, and based on that, place your messages in the appropriate folder. So let's say your seed account receives a message which would normally land in the spam folder, but in the past you have opened email from that sender, clicked the link, filed the message in a folder, replied to the message, marked it as not spam, or added the sender to your safe sender list. Because of your past actions and interactions with the sender, the message is now placed in your inbox instead of the spam folder. So herein lies the biggest issue with seed list. Any real interaction with a message from a specific sender will influence the filters in a positive light, but only for the account in which the interaction took place. So I want that to sink in. So I'm saying that any interaction will be specific to that account. So let's say you're using a monitoring service, and I'll mention a couple closer to the end of the episode. So you're using a monitoring service that monitors these seed accounts for you, and they show you where these messages land or not, for that matter. The problem is if that service interacts with your messages, and most of them don't. There's only one that does, and you've got to select some options, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. The problem is, and especially if you're using your own seed list and you are interacting with those messages, it skews your results, because what you're seeing, or what the seed list is seeing, or the seed list monitoring service is seeing, is not necessarily indicative of what the global list or globally all of your subscribers are seeing. So if we take, for instance, Gmail as an example. So Gmail, doesn't matter how you cut it, at the end of the day, Gmail will make up at least 50% of your list, if not more. Gmail is very, very good at determining on an individual user or subscriber level where to place messages based on that specific user's interests and actions on messages. And again, therein lies the problem. It's so difficult to know for a fact whether your message is being delivered to an inbox or to a spam folder. And in the case of Gmail, and a lot of other providers are beginning to do this now, where they have these different tabs. So in Gmail, you've got promotions, you've got updates, and there's a whole bunch of others that you can turn on and off. So you don't really know, even if you're monitoring your own seeds, if what you're seeing in your seeds is true for all other subscribers at Gmail, whether they're seeing it in the same place. And I'm not talking hypotheticals here. I've seen this in practice myself with my own accounts, where the exact same message from the exact same sender on one Gmail account, it goes to the primary folder. On a different Gmail account, remember, exactly the same message, exactly the same sender, from the same platform, everything is identical. On a second account, it goes to a promotions tab. On a third account, that same message goes to the spam folder, right? And again, this is based on the algorithms at Gmail learning what the different users on their platform wants to see and where they want to see these messages. So please bear that in mind, that a seed list is purely an indicator. It is one more thing to have a look at to determine whether your program is doing well or not. All right, let's carry on with the actual presentation. So this is not only an issue with seed addresses though, right? So mailbox providers will put the same message to different subscribers in different places, as I've just mentioned. So let's say you send a message to 4 seed accounts at Gmail. It is highly likely that Gmail will place some of those messages in the inbox and some in the spam folder, and now with all the different tabs and different tabs as well. And this is especially true if you as a sender or your sending infrastructure is new to Gmail. Their algorithms has to learn by the actions of its users whether you as a sender is trustworthy or not. So in conclusion, that was a short one, but in conclusion, seed lists are a great tool, but it should not be the only way that you monitor and track inbox placement. You need to keep a close eye on opens and clicks from a specific mailbox provider, keep baselines for each of these mailbox providers, and deep dive potential issues when your open and click rate suddenly drops on any particular provider. So one of the very first things you need to get your subscribers to do is to add your from address to their safe sender list to ensure the best possible inbox rate at a mailbox provider. The more subscribers do this at a particular mailbox provider, the better your inbox rate will be at said mailbox provider. And we're going to talk some more about whitelisting or safe senders in next week's episode. So I wanted to leave you with some resources. So these are the 3 main seed list providers and monitoring services out there. I've listed them in order of price, right? So Glockapps is the first one. Very good, very reasonably priced. Their primary focus is seed lists and seed list monitoring, and they do a little bit of some other stuff as well. 250OK, on the other hand, they don't publicly publish their prices because they price their offering based on your needs. So they will turn some stuff on and some stuff off based on your requirements. So the only way to get a price from 250OK is to talk to them directly. I will tell you right up front, they are very enterprise focused, so their pricing is much higher than Glockapps. They don't only do seed lists. Seed list is one very small part of what 250OK does. They do a whole host of other things, including spam trap monitoring, a whole bunch of things. Go check them out. Phenomenal company, phenomenal product. And next up is eDataSource. eDataSource is similar in scope to 250OK. Also a very enterprise focused product, also not something, or they don't publish their prices publicly either. It's again priced based on your requirements. And also again, just like 250OK, they don't only do seed list monitoring. They've got a whole host of other services that they provide. another phenomenal company and a phenomenal product. Absolutely well worth your time to check out. And with that, we come to the end of our presentation. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comment box. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. Or if you want to ask a longer question, or you don't feel comfortable popping it into the comment box, just pop us an email at emm@inboxjam.com, and I'll get back to those questions as quickly as possible. And then next week, episode 12, we're going to talk about asking your subscribers to whitelist you. Right? So these are the adding you to their safe sender list. And it's going to be next week again at exactly the same time. I thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoy this information, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week, Thursday. Thank you very much. Bye.